Welcome to the Enterprise Thought Leadership Podcast, where we explore the latest in enterprise trends, tech, and strategy with the top leaders shaping the future.
Hi, welcome to our podcast On Stage with Enterprise Thought Leaders. My name is Kanika, and I'm the managing editor of ITSecuritywire, which is our enterprise and cybersecurity focused publication. We have engaging conversations with global thought leaders and industry experts, which reach over 1.3 million business leaders worldwide. Cybersecurity is fast becoming one of the most critical elements of communication in enterprise as well as consumer devices. In governments, companies, countries, private individuals all need to be on top of their game to be prepared for the risks faced by their communication platforms as well as devices. What they need is resilience and integrity at every level, across networks and throughout operations. One of the foremost players in the field is BlackBerry, whose secure communication division offers a secure platform designed to meet the highest standards for classified and mission critical communications. Trusted by governments worldwide, it ensures complete digital sovereignty, giving organizations full control over communication data, infrastructure, and operations, which is free from foreign interference or third party dependencies. How do they do it, and what can enterprises achieve from it? Today, we speak to Nathan Jenniges. He's a senior vice president and general manager at BlackBerry on achieving mission critical secure communications. Welcome, Nathan. Appreciate your making time for us today.
Thank you, and thank you for having me today. I really love talking about what we're doing as BlackBerry has evolved significantly over the years.
Right, so we can look forward to an interesting conversation then. But before we start, I will have a short introduction about Nathan. He's a senior vice president, as I just said. He's responsible for the product strategy, roadmaps, engineering, development operations, global support, and professional services. Nathan brings over 25 years of experience in developing products at technology companies. Most recently, he spent 10 years at McAfee, expanding his product responsibilities from mobile security to leading the enterprise endpoint, threat intelligence, and security operations products. Before joining Cybersecurity World in 2012, Nathan worked in a variety of roles in engineering, marketing strategy, and product management at Motorola and Dell. He has received the Chief Product Officer certificate from Northwestern Kellogg Executive Education in 2022 and previously received a Master's in Business Administration from the University of Chicago Booth School of Business and a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering from Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. Is it all? Have I missed something?
No, that's everything, I think.
That's great. So my first question to you, Nathan, is BlackBerry today focuses on security, communications, security. Tell us something about on your foundational software.
Yeah, we've pivoted. Obviously, the top thing we get asked whenever I'm around the world traveling is do you still make phones? And of course, we answer, yeah, we're out of the phone game, but we still do what BlackBerry was founded to do. We pivoted from making the complete device to figuring out how to deliver the software and applications on devices to help secure the communications and engagement with people in various products. And it's critically important today, as we know around the world, with the advent of and the announcement around Salt Typhoon, that our telecom networks aren't secure. And so when we talk to some of the largest governments, critical infrastructure, highly regulated enterprises around the world, they're realizing that a lot of their communications are sensitive and they don't want those all out there in the public. And so our products and services are needed today. We deliver a portfolio of products, three main areas. One is, how do we secure mobile devices? So when you've got BYOD or even your own government or corporate owned devices, how do we make sure that the applications and the data stays secure on those devices? We deliver a suite of applications that help deliver secure voice, video, text, email, browsing capabilities on those mobile devices. And then we also play in the critical event management space, where we deliver the capabilities to alert and message during critical incidents, whether that's weather events, terrorist events, IT outage and cybersecurity events. The ability to be able to securely and rapidly communicate with people during times of crisis is critically important as well.
So you're right. I did not want to ask you about how and why BlackBerry pivoted from the mobile phones, which we used to know when I started my career. That was the it thing to have, and all the CXOs had one.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to know, even at that point in time, that was one of the most secure phones available, and it was meant for people that held leadership positions, and then there was data that was being exchanged and all of that. I'm not sure the risk scenario was the same, but there were always risks, and BlackBerry was supposed to be, fairly unbreakable at that. Does any of your new line of products or solutions have roots in those solutions which you had in the earlier products?
Absolutely. It's a perfect question to ask, and a lot of the core foundational technology, the people, the experience around what was done around BlackBerry back in the day when it was both hardware and software combination. A lot of that capability is present in the products today. Our portfolio of products, all of the three products I talked about, all were founded and started back in the 2000 to 2007 range. They were parts of this BlackBerry evolution and pivoting from a hardware player to a software company.
Right, that's good to know. And I think a lot of people are going to give a sigh of relief because,
Yeah.
the trust they built in those days, but that was a long time ago.
Yep.
So, for sensitive and mission critical operations, what do you think, what extra is required for security solutions that they need to deliver?
Yeah, for sensitive and mission critical operations, I see sort of three key areas that we talk to customers about. First of all, a lot of our customers around the world realize that they need sovereign control over the software stack and the communication layers that are happening. That, trusting that to go into just the generic, all of the public telco networks without that added level of security and control, or into global cloud services where you're not exactly sure what data is being left behind, especially what we see is the metadata that's left behind, right? When you make a phone call on a public network, there's a lot of data that's out there and available to take. So having sovereign control over that stack is critical. The Having the level of certifications, the scrutiny that we go through on our products to bring them into environments like a FedRAMP environment, or most recently we announced our certification of our UEM solution in combination with our secure voice and communication solution with the German BSI. The scrutiny that goes under to do those certifications gives a level of trust and confidence behind our products. And then the third area is just having a platform that's ready for that mission ready resilience. Inevitably, something is going to happen that requires you to have rapid, coordinated communication with either a group of people have to respond, or broadly, we see within governments how you communicate with citizens or in these situations. So having those three things, the sovereign control, the certification and confidence, and that mission ready resilience platform to coordinate when things do go wrong.
And we're talking about governments here, and that is extremely critical data. If you could say, was step beyond mission critical, because a lot of geopolitical tensions abound, and it's been there for a couple of decades now. So these 3 points you think are sufficient to cover the requirements of security for government communication platforms, or is there anything more that can be done or is being done or you're planning?
Those are I'd say the three things that we talk to governments the most about. And I should add that inside of that certification thing is, one of the things we do is we've done the highest level of encryption as well. We've put in significant effort into our encryption capabilities across the product, and that's part of that level of certification that we're getting to the governments. So if they can control the system, they know where their data is, they know that it's secure, and they have the workflows to do the communication at the level they need to. And we see it heavily in governments, but also we work with, for example, people in oil platforms, right? You've got oil platforms all over the world in different countries, and the communication that's needed in those environments and coordinate that. We see it, corporate executives, financials and banks and other areas as well, where they're starting to realize that next level of importance, where when we say a government certified solution, it's actually important for them as well.
And you do also have a major presence in the automotive sector, the communication systems in the automotive sector. Am I right?
Yeah, on the other side of the business, so I'm on the secure comm side, where we do a lot of software for, I'd say, mobile devices and PCs.
Yeah.
Our BlackBerry QNX division
Hmm.
is heavily in the automotive sector, providing the secure operating systems and application development platforms that a lot of automotive vendors, and expanding into the broader general embedded market spaces. So even into healthcare devices and robotics and other areas.
So that's another division. So that's
Yes.
another conversation.
Yeah.
What sort of innovations do you think can empower security leaders in today's scenario of highly dynamic vulnerabilities? When I say highly dynamic vulnerabilities, it's a nice way of saying you don't know what's going to hit you next. So how do they stay, in the know? How do they stay on top of their game? Because they cannot be 100% secure. What is the best that they can do?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, and it's gotten even more complicated now with what AI is capable of today and how fast it's changing, and how you really just don't know what it's going to be like in another 6 months, when even more infrastructure and evolution of these things and how they're attacking things in the environment. And we're even seeing things now like where, we used to say critical infrastructure and you thought electricity and water. And now we're seeing in the past few weeks, AWS and Azure and the cloud platforms are critical infrastructure, right? And even a small little outage suddenly throws you off. And that's one of the things why I would say we push some of the capabilities that we've built, is the ability to have your own control. In many of the cases, you're able to deploy these products in your own data centers, ways where you're controlling it and have less dependence on those potential attacks that are coming. That's a key part, I think, that we do a lot around to help with that. I would
Right.
add, I think, you've got to actually use AI to keep on top of things that are evolving as well. I will say with my teams, we're in it heavily. I spend probably half my day thinking through with things with AI, trying to stay on top of how things are evolving. What do we need to do to continue to keep our products at the forefront of the security controls that our customers need?
Yeah, especially because AI is the one which is driving the vulnerabilities. So AI has to be the tool that's going to fight them.
Yeah.
Isn't that an interesting situation to be in?
It's always been a race, right? Because we are seeing AI is actually helping us fix those
Yeah,
things
I mean,
faster, but it's
your part of
also,
it is helping.
yeah,
It's also helping the people who are creating the problems. So it plays both ways.
yeah.
Right. So my last question is, what role does compliance play in developing almost foolproof security solutions for communication platforms?
The compliance programs, I think that's something that has been on a good part. I've been in a bunch of different companies over the years, and I would say that BlackBerry has always had a really strong compliance perspective. You don't build secure products without really thinking about the entire process that you go through. You don't get through some of these certifications that take us 12, 18, 24 months to get through with some of these agencies who want to understand all of the things we do within developing these products. So a lot of our compliance focus goes into the upfront part of the process. We don't think of it as a checkbox afterwards, especially when you're building software products. It's upfront in our process. It's something we think about even at the point of designing our products and writing our requirements. And it's something that we're again, with AI, we're actually trying to figure out, okay, how do we actually move even more? Like, how do I get even more perspective of how does AI help us really think through it? Because compliance is complex, right? You look at some of these standards like NIST 800 -52 or 53, sorry. They're complex, right? And the ability to have these AIs helping us and highlighting things earlier in the process really helps develop more secure solutions for our customers.
So there's something I wanted to know because our conversation started because of the event that you had attended, and we could not attend. Is there something interesting that happened there that caught your attention, which you think could be the way forward for these solutions? Something new, something innovative that you heard about, or if you are developing and you spoke about it, anything comes to mind?
Yeah, and I was at the event at the end of a trip where I was actually gone across 6, 7 countries across Europe, Middle East over that period of time. And I would say the top conversation we'll come back to is just a significant change, I would say, in the market. If I'd been over there a year ago to now, I think there's a broader recognition of the global insecurity. I think when Salt Typhoon first came out, it was like, oh, that's a US thing, right? Since then, it's come out, I forget the exact number, but it's like 40 or 50 countries who've had, it's now known that the telco networks have this threat actor in them, has been compromised. It's been for a while. And that a lot of the communications may not be as secure as we think. And so a lot of conversation around that has shifted significantly around how do we get better systems in place? How do we make sure we have the right communication so that we're not dependent on as much of the critical infrastructure that's obviously at risk, whether it's the telcos or the cloud infrastructure providers. I think there's a shift that's kind of happening where people want to bring things back and bring more control that I've heard across all the different companies that I've talked to.
That's interesting, very interesting to know. And these are the questions I had for you. Thank you so much for making time for us today. It was really nice speaking with you.
All right, it was a pleasure speaking with you as well. And it's always a pleasure. I do truly enjoy it everywhere I go in the world, talking about how BlackBerry has changed, but a lot of what you knew about BlackBerry is still there. It's still in the products. It's still in exactly what we do. It's the DNA of who BlackBerry is. So thank you again.
Thank you for joining us for the Enterprise Thought Leadership Podcast. Please do follow us on social media and subscribe for more ideas and insights. Until next time.